Hi everyone, Claudia here from Lighting Clarity. Your channel messages for the week. We are Monday the 16th of September. Please be with me while I connect for you all. Thank you. I have Saint Germain coming in straight away. Please be with me. I'm just going to make the connection stronger. So Saint Germain's known as the healer of hearts. He brings in his purple healing energy. It's the color I'm seeing into, or violet energy really, into each of your auras for those of you who are willing to accept this. Even placing your hands on your hearts and gently pressing in with 2 fingers into your hearts. Activating a deeper healing as he channels through me. So he's bringing in his energy of compassion and mercy, is what he calls it. So he says there's something that some of you have been going through, some sort of issue. He says whatever difficulties you have been going through, and he says that you're about to step out of those difficulties. Those difficulties are about to be over. So he says you're actually moving through them now very quickly, and they're about to be over. You're about to step through that hole or that ring, if you like. So there's been like a cycle or a period that's been quite difficult for some of you, not for all of you, and he's addressing those of you who have been going through that. So he says there is a higher road coming in for everyone. So a lot of you have done a lot of internal work. You have brought yourselves to a very pivotal point in your own personal growth. And he shows me a higher timeline coming in, a higher road that each of you are about to embark on, which is really, really good to see. He says some of you have had to deal with certain situations that have ended, and you've had to either end them yourselves or put a bow on them and say that's enough, or I've finished with that. And just acknowledging those of you who have finished with those type of life lessons. So he says there is a period coming of heightened intuition. And he says it's really important that you follow your intuition here, that you do not hold back. He says your intuition is going to be your compass for leading you down the different directions that are coming up, deciding which direction to take, which opportunity to take. He says your intuition is going to be quite a strong compass for you. He says this is your holy teams coming in and tapping you on the shoulder and sending you in a direction. He also wants to remind you that when something is blocked to you, he says this is your holy teams protecting you as well. Because not everything is meant for you. There are other things that are meant for you that come in. He says you've all done a lot of growing, you've all done a lot of paving the way, and there is a new opening of opportunity that you have brought to yourselves that is coming in now. He says it's important to be in good stead, to be grounded and strong within yourselves, solid within yourselves. He says when you need to have a break from things, take that break for yourself. Replenish your energies, replenish your thoughts, come back into center, ground into you. He says it's going to allow you to see outside yourselves, to do with different areas of your lives more clearly and more honestly. You'll be able to see what isn't working, what needs to go, what it is that you haven't understood. is being understood, what life lesson you haven't understood is coming in. And it's as though he says there's a small aha moment where you go, oh, I didn't see that before about that person. I'm actually seeing it now. Or I didn't see that before about that situation, but now I'm actually getting it. There's been a big realization here, and that's been an important piece of information. And I see you all saying that, a lot of you saying that, as those realizations awaken, as that clarity comes in. He says there's a lifting up that's coming in from your teams. They're going to be lifting up a lot of you on an emotional level. He uses the word morales as well, lifting up on an emotional level. That is something that is needed, especially with moving you all forward and you guys moving into a new arena, he says. Now, in closing, so he shows me, that there are some of you are quite entrepreneurial, and there is some interesting ideas you've got currently that are going to turn into plans and that you're going to actually enact and take action on. He says you're coming up to that point where you're about to make the plans for these ideas that you've got, these goals, these dreams. You're coming up to that point where you're about to make plans on this, and you're going to put action behind those plans as you move along. Saint Germain says, we are all here to help. He says, call on the divine creator for assistance. He says, also call upon, he's making you feel either an ascended master or a saint, is what he says. He says, whoever it is that you feel close to, call upon them for assistance in this. He says, there are many masters and saints that help with enacting plans, that help with putting action behind plans, that help you with building up what is that you want. So we're talking about being entrepreneurial, we're talking about your goals, talking about your dreams, talking about what it is you've always wanted to do that you haven't done, that you're feeling, you know what, I'd really like to go and do this. So whether this is you take a holiday around the world, or whether this is you're buying a new home, or whether this is you're moving into a new career, or whatever this is, or you're buying a boat, I don't know, whatever this is, or you want to start a course, or you want to retire even, and you want to find what to do when you do. They're saying call upon the assistance. They're going to assist you with making those plans. It comes more from an encouraging point of view, he says. We're not going to tell you how to do it, but we'll encourage you forward. And we will show you there are roads here that you need to go and examine and decide for yourself what suits you. So that is what he says here. He says, please don't fret. Please don't worry. He says some of you are warriors, and some of you have been overly worrying about some things, or overly, he just says, please do not, about the future. He says, please do not. He says, each of you are grounding your feet on the ground. Some of you have been off the ground, but you're starting to put your feet back on the road. He says it's really important that you stay grounded. He says that groundedness will bring in that divine clarity, that divine intelligence to know where to head. He says you can do this, you can carry yourselves forward, you've all got the know-how, you've all got the internal strength and the internal intuition to do it. He says start following it, start falling back into your aura, start falling back into your energy, start falling back into your inner strength. He says carry yourselves, lean on yourselves and carry yourselves. He says do ask for that divine assistance, asking for divine help. So he's talked about the saints and the masters. He talks about God coming in. He says you can also call upon the archangel. There's Archangel Gabriel, and he says Archangel Michael, who are very good to call upon to assist with getting going with businesses, getting going with your life's journey. So he's reminding me that Michael is also the archangel of life purpose, which is to do with your whole life. And Gabriel's very good at helping with business, opening the throat chakra, speaking what you want, but assisting you with business. So some of the masters you can turn to, I'm just asking, who are they? And he's talking about Solomon, which I already know. He's talking about himself, Paul the Venetian as well. We've got Merlin. Saint Demphina. Also talking about Saint Anthony. There are many different saints within the Catholic religion, but he talked about Saint Anthony. Do your research, guys, but he's making me feel Saint Anthony as well. I know Saint Anthony is the Garter of Fire, but I feel he's quite a strong strength, and St. Francis as well. He's just said St. Francis, who's good with the animals here, but he says they're good strengths to call upon. Even he says, if you say general, I call upon the saints of God's light. I call upon one of you to step forward to assist me with this particular goal that I have. Yeah. Going to thank him for coming in. If there's one last word from him. He says, please don't be down on yourselves. There's something that's disappointed one of you or some of you. He says, and you've taken it to heart. He says, please don't. Please don't be disappointed. He says you will find your way out and through, and you will also find the answers you need to do with that disappointment. So he's just coming in with that support, which is really lovely. I'm going to thank him for coming in. All right. Well, many, many more blessings. I have 2 spots left on my course, Creating New Steps. It starts October 11th. There are a series of targeted psychic healings. Each person who's worked on in the course, your name is called. You hear what it is that I'm doing, what it is that Spirit is bringing through, what we're clearing, what we're activating, what we're downloading. You will receive it on a Friday. It's a series of recorded healings, so you don't need to be live. No one is live, and they're just as effective. I've done this for years. So 2 spots left, and that's strictly 2 spots left. I'm not taking more than that. If you're wanting more information, send me an email and I will shoot you the advert, and you can let me know. All right, and you're welcome to pay in 2 installments. It's 688 Australian dollars. You need to pay the first installment, 304, and then pay the second one as we choose to do that between us. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, many blessings. I'll connect with all of you again soon this week. Thanks, everyone.